I'm not an expert on AI, but I am an expert when it comes to helping people take on more adaptive perspectives. And a really big fear in our culture right now is that AI is going to take over everything. There are lots of people that are afraid that AI will replace their jobs, it makes certain things meaningless, that it's going to threaten their livelihoods. And I'm going to share with you why I don't agree with that, why I'm not scared of it as someone who doesn't know anything about it. I'm Justin Leff, and I focus on motivation, adaptive thinking, and self-control, all in a way that helps you become your own psychologist. And first off, it's a very real concern, right? Job displacement does threaten your livelihood. It does suck to invest all of your time learning a skill or developing a career that you're worried isn't going to exist within the next couple of years. If a machine can do everything that humans do better and faster, what is the point in humans might be the kind of the doomsday idea that comes up at the end of this. So here's the example I'm going to use to kind of give you the reason why I'm not scared of it. And that's with a movie called Tron, which I think came out in 1980 something. Point is, by today's standards, the CGI looks awful. And they had to use raw math to do all of the animations. The way that animation was done back then was completely different. And it was only possible because they had millions of dollars. They had special technology. They had the right talent together under one roof. So Tron was only possible as an expensive, large, highly qualified team project. So if we look at today, there's a channel called Corridor Digital, and they did a challenge where they recreated the scenes in Tron in one day as solo projects. All 5 of the guys got together and individually recreated one of the most iconic scenes from the movie in just an afternoon, I think. So there's 2 ways that you can look at this. You can look at this with the perspective we talked about at the beginning, which is that if you were one of the people that made the original technology or put in the talent to learn how to animate Tron back then in the 80s, your job just got replaced dramatically. One guy on a YouTube channel can do what an entire team of people that developed your skill did. The other way that you can look at this is that if you didn't have millions of dollars and years of experience and education behind you, and you had a vision for a movie like Tron, there was a 0% chance of that movie ever coming to light. See, AI, or any kind of automation for that matter, can be seen as something that replaces you, but it can also be seen as something that replaces all of the friction between you and the things that you want to build, especially with something as wide-scaled as AI, because yeah, it's affecting you, but it's affecting lots of other people. If someone can use AI to reduce their dependency on you, well, doesn't it stand that you can use AI to reduce your dependency on other people? Just using myself as an example, I don't think I could do this YouTube channel if I had to manually do subtitles. The monotony of it would just kill me. But I can throw it into an AI machine. And so the idea of putting videos out on the internet that are, accessible for people is only possible because there are tools that automate the process for me. What took massive budgets and millions of dollars and thousands of man hours can now be done for free. And instead of looking at those man hours as ones that you could have potentially charged people for, you can start looking at those man hours as things that you have access to now. And this is generally something that we see improve almost any industry it happens in. Whenever you cut out the middlemen, whenever you cut out the friction in the labor, and there's just nothing between people and what they want to do, it creates opportunity. It also doesn't mean that your talents are useless, by the way. You can kind of think of yourself from going from employee to manager. In fact, that's the first thing you need to do if you want to become a CEO or an executive of any company. You need to learn how to delegate first. Micromanaging is universally understood as a terrible management style. But guess what? The majority of CEOs or the majority of executives have education and work experience relevant to the kind of things they're managing. So you can start looking at yourself as the manager of the AI robots that are replacing you. Your experience matters. You just got promoted, so you're doing less of it directly. But ultimately, your opportunity and the things that you can do in life goes up when you move from an employee to an employer. And so it's okay to replace yourself. Here's the trick with this perspective, though, is that it has a requirement. And the requirement is that you think you can learn to leverage this new technology. And that is intimidating. This perspective of, oh, you can use it to your advantage doesn't work if you feel like you are too far behind or if you can never learn how to use it correctly. You have to clear up a vision that incorporates AI into it. You have to understand that you're going to have to learn how to use it correctly. You're going to have to shift from the mindset of being somebody that could enjoy the work to somebody that has to kind of plan it and manage it. You have to envision a whole new work life, and you have to envision yourself learning skills that you might feel intimidated about learning. It comes with requirements that sometimes involve building your own evidence or practicing certain strategies or putting yourself in different situations. Mindsets and perspectives are always touted as these things that transform you, but really they're things that come as a result of transformation. So the fact that you're scared of AI makes a lot of sense, but you don't have to be. Circling back to what I said at the start of this, as someone who helps people get out of fixed mindsets for a living, this doesn't scare me. I've never met a person who I didn't think was capable of overcoming their objections towards learning learning new things and developing new skills. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it's definitely possible. And this is totally separate from the way that real harm is caused in job displacement or the way that AI might get kind of monopolized and consolidated in a way that harms the regular person. But I'm not getting into any of that shit for this video. This video is just about making you realize that if your opportunities are being taken away, that also means that friction is being taken away. And that's the perspective that I've seen help a lot of people kind of get over their phobia and start using AI instead of feeling like they're going to be used by it. That's everything I have to say about it. If you enjoyed this video, then you should take a look at this one as well, because this kind of perspective shifting is a big part of what happens on this channel. So check that out. You can take a look at my website as well to see what I do in terms of coaching, and thanks for watching.